Hello everybody. Today Gourmet in the Metro is here at Masala Mandi, a place right off of Sarjapur in Bangalore, known for some of their scrumptious North Indian buffets. So today we're going to take you on a luxurious Mughal food journey filled with absolutely delicious plates of kebabs, biryanis, desserts and just so many things, and I'm so excited to show you what we have in store for you guys today. So let's go. I am standing at what looks like a very authentic chaat cart that we find in the streets of India right here inside Masala Mandi. Here they have got so many different kinds of chaat that you can order directly individually, or you can buy the chaat platter which contains golgappe, dahi balla, kachori chaat and a bunch of other chaats all set together in a beautiful large looking plate. So I'm going to be ordering that right now and let's see how it tastes. So here is the chaat platter that I told all of you about. Here we have a bowl filled with already stuffed puris for the pani puri. This is the really yummy pani as well as a slightly watered down version of it. I think this one is slightly less spicier than that, but I'm still going to try both together. We have a lovely plate full of thick sev puri, dahi balla chaat right here, dahi balla chaat, and I think this is dahi puri, but I'm gonna have to try it out because I also did get a little confused with the kachori puris that they were offering earlier. So first I'm gonna try the pani puri, the more spicier pudina water and the slightly less spicier, slightly more sweeter water as well. So the pani, as I expected, was not very spicy, but it was nevertheless very tasty. It's a really good puri with ample stuffing of the potato, lots of yummy onions, and the pani as well tastes great. If there is one thing that I would have preferred less, it would probably be how hard the puri is, but it's also possible because it's been kept out in the cold too much and that is why this has happened. But taste wise, definitely a plus. Next you guys, I'm going to try out the sev puri. As you can see, this is chock full of filling as well as chutney. I can already taste the tangy chutney when I sort of lick my finger. So this is what I'm going to try next. This is just mad yummy. I absolutely love the sev puri and it has to be hands down one of the better sev puris that I have had in Bangalore. I'm not even lying, I am that big of a fan. There is amazing tangy chutney, really spicy green chutney. It is chock full with aloo and sev and onions and tomatoes. And hands down, do not miss this if you come here because it is definitely one of the tastiest thing I have had so far. So guys, I made a slight mistake when I was describing the chaats to you people earlier. This is a kachori chaat. It is a big kachori about this big, all covered up in dahi, chutney and sev. And I'm going to try it out right now. The inside of it appears to be filled with a really spicy red filling. So it's a really big kachori. It's really soft to cut into. Top has all the imli and green chutneys as usual, but the inside, I mean it's covered with dahi on the outside, but the inside is this yummy mutter sort of filling. I think it's mutter and a little bit of chane, I'm not sure. Jo bhi hai, it is really good. It gives you the right balance of spicy on the inside and absolutely sweet curd on the outside. And it is a very good chaat, like a really good cleanser sort of, like I really do like this. So guys, I'm out here trying the last chaat in this platter. This is the dahi balla, and I know that there are a lot of other chaats as well that you can get done individually if you go to the chaat cart and get it made. But I have stuck to the chaat platter because I am saving my tummy up for some of the more yummier things that are there in the buffet. The only thing that differs from this and the kachori chaat, I think, other than the general dahi balla versus kachori argument, is that there is pomegranate seeds on the top of this chaat, which is a little different from the rest of them. The balla is a little bit hard to cut into, but I don't think that should affect the taste. So on the outside, even though the taste is more or less the same in terms of the sweet curd, tangy chutney or everything else, the dahi vada inside has got a very unique taste. I mean, it does taste like you're softened, drenched in dahi vada, but at the same time there is this sort of, no, I can't say spicy, but a really sort of masala-y, I think the correct thing is a curry leaf kind of flavor to it, which is very unique. I've not had it in any dahi valla before, so this is definitely unique. Not a bad chaat at all. Slightly on the spicier side, even though it has a lot of curd in it, but definitely a good chaat. So overall, I'd say finishing up the chaat platter, pretty solid. So the concept at Masala Mandi is that you can either go for the a la carte menu or you can go for a buffet. If you take the buffet menu, on the other hand, you get this grill with multiple items coming through in both veg and non-veg. So it's sort of like if you've gone to a restaurant like Barbecue Nation or Absolute Barbecues, it's almost similar to that. Along with that, they sometimes bring a couple of starters like the mutton sheikh kebab that I have on my plate right now, as well as 2 veg starters. One was a dahi kebab and a beetroot kebab. Unfortunately, we couldn't get them out to show you guys, but here we have the sheikh kebab. We also have a set of vegetables and meat grilling right now. So as that grills, I'm going to try and review this for you. So as far as consistency goes, it cuts very smoothly, very, very smoothly. I am not a fan of mutton, but even I really like this kebab. Hate to be a person who constantly says that I like this one after the other for you guys when I promise to give you an honest review, but this is genuinely really good. I only put a little bit of the chutney in, but I can still taste the pudina chutney flavor coming in from inside the kebab. It doesn't have a certain taste that comes with the mutton meat that is natural to the mutton. Does not seem to be in this. It cuts really easy and the meat is just succulent, well cooked throughout and really lightly spiced, which I think adds a little something. The marination is great. I really do like the sheikh kebab. This comes as a starter, as I mentioned, not as one of the grilled items. So guys, on the grill we have right now, I'm just reaching towards the grill, we have chicken tikka, which is what I'm taking first because I am a big fan of tikka. So I'm cutting. Chicken appears to be fairly, really well cooked. It's really soft to the touch and looks well done. All my chicken tikka fans, unite. This is amazing. It is really good, very soft to the touch. The masala covers, the marinade covers the chicken really, really well. Really well cooked, soft, juicy, all the delicious flavors that you would expect from a good chicken tikka right here. Although one slight infraction though, I would maybe want it to be a little less saltier, but I guess that's personal preference. I don't really prefer a lot of salt on my food. After that scrumptious chicken tikka, I am gonna try. I am not the biggest fan of seafood in the world, and I asked the people, this is apparently a basa fish. It appears to be falling apart right off of this grill handle. I think it's called, I'm not, please forgive me, pardon my language. Skewers, yeah, thank you. Nitin is behind the camera today and he has rightfully informed me that these
I was
are
always behind the
skewers.
camera behind this channel.
He is your illustrious cameraman and has thusly informed that these are known as skewers. So please pardon me, audience. Now that I have sufficiently refilled my chutney, it's time to taste the falling apart of the skewers fish, which looks reasonably well cooked. See what I mean by falling apart? It's really well done. The fish is cooked unbelievably well. It is practically falling apart, as I have mentioned nearly 3 times now. The flavor is pretty decent. It's not too spicy. I think they've done a turmeric based marinade, so it's good nevertheless. I think for those of you who really like seafood, maybe the thing for you to go to. Personally, I'm not a very big fan. Out of the many vegetarian options, we have potatoes, charred broccoli and mushrooms, as I've told before, and my personal favorite, the paneer. The paneer looks really bright red and full of really flavorful juices. And much like the fish that I showed you guys earlier, this also appears to be coming right off of the skewers. I believe I can cut it directly just with a fork. It is that soft. Unbelievable. So the paneer is very, very, very soft to the touch. It practically just falls apart when you place your fork into it. The flavor is much like the chicken tikka. Same really standard tikka tandoori flavors. Not too spicy, quite mild. It's a pretty good paneer tikka, I would say. Not the best I've had, but good enough. It's not amazing. The texture, however, is definitely a 100 on 100. It is unbelievably soft. I think the paneer is super fresh, and that definitely makes it fun to eat. Moving on to the main course, there are a lot of options here, so you'll definitely be spoiled for choice at Masala Mandi. Now I have started with the vegetarian platter first. I have actually, in terms of breads, you'll have to order them beforehand. So they have butter naan, butter roti, plain roti, tandoori kulche, as well as this garlic naan. So I'm going to start with the garlic naan first and the vegetarian plate. So to give you guys an overview of all of the veg dishes, this here is a tawa paneer, which I'm obviously partial to. As you can see, the quantity is larger. This is aloo dum. This is dal makhani, kadhi pakoda, mixed vegetable, and my personal favorite, sarson da saag. Guys, we're going to start with sarson da saag first. The flavor of the sarson really hasn't carried through, and instead it's left together a sort of overcooked bitterness that I'm really not a fan of. So it's not the best sarson da saag I've had. In fact, I hate to be very brutally honest, but it's very below average. But let us move on and try some of the other things. So my second favorite, the tawa paneer, of which I am very excited to try. Paneer as usual, the paneer here seems to be abnormally fresh and well cooked. It just breaks apart in your hand, much like the tikka. Man, so good. This paneer is absolutely delicious. It's got that kadai sort of flavor to it, even though it is called a tawa paneer. And it is very, very tasty. The capsicum flavor really carries through. The paneer is soft to the touch. All in all, a 11 on 10 paneer gravy. I love it. Moving on to the dum aloo. It looks an awful lot like a lightly colored butter chicken and a lot thicker than dum aloo usually is. At first bite, it tastes really nice. There's a nice flavor of, I guess, a light flavor of sort of sesame-ness coming through it. It then becomes overly tangy, and that tanginess just takes over your palate. Like, you cannot taste anything else. The aloo is very melt in your mouth, but at the same time, the tanginess, like I said, just too overpowering. And I'm going to try dal makhani, and this is one of my absolutely favorite dal types to ever have. Buttery goodness is literally what it is. Dal makhani. It is covered in butter, absolutely delicious. Every bite is a mouthful of yummy dal and butter. I love it. The classic, lives up to its name. So good. Kadhi pakoda. Again, I wish to state here that I hope my views are not too biased, since I'm not the biggest fan of kadhi pakoda. Pakoda seems to be well cooked. In a complete reversal of fates compared to the dum aloo. The tanginess hits you first. So maybe at initial bite you might think maybe not my thing. But as you bite through it, as you start getting the flavor of the curry itself come through, and the slight spice of curry leaves, as well as the flavoring inside the pakoda, which is relatively middle level spicy. This really is a dish that is, it's good. It's not amazing, it's not great, but it is good. And I think it's very different from regular curry, but it's pretty good. It's good. I'm going to try the dry mixed vegetable sabzi. This looks pretty standard base, nothing too extraordinary. A little too oily perhaps. This is very Gharelu sabzi type. Sort of halfway there between, it's good, it's not bad, but it's not something too extraordinary. It's okay. It's yummy enough to eat for a dry sabzi. But I think out of all of the vegetarian dishes I tasted, the tawa paneer and the dal makhani definitely take the cake for best vegetarian gravies here at Masala Mandi. So for the non-veg options, we have only 4 gravies here. This is one of the most famous, most recommended dishes at Masala Mandi, which is the Rajasthani Lal Mas. This is a delectable red-looking mutton gravy. On the side over here, a very, very oily Rara chicken. I am usually a very big fan of Rara chicken, but the oil is making me a little bit worried, but let's see. Over here we have some Amritsari fish tikka. Unfortunately, by the time I got to it, the fish was not there, so I could not get you a piece to show. And here is everybody's favorite, the butter chicken, which looks great. So let's dive in. I have a stuffed kulcha for the non-veg gravy section, and this is an aloo stuffed kulcha. So first thing I'm going to try is the Rajasthani Lal Mas. I'm not going to lie to you, the Rajasthani Lal Mas is very, very, very spicy. The spice is the first thing that hits you. I have a mid-level spice tolerance, and for me this is like, it's burning my tongue. The meat is thoroughly well cooked, no doubt about it. The mutton tastes good, but the spice is really hurts you. Next we're gonna try the Rara chicken. Huge quantities of oil aside, this is definitely looking promising. This is spicy, tangy, masala-y deliciousness all together. It is a very, very, very good Rara chicken. I have in love. It is so good. I think I might go in for a second bite. It is very, very delicious, and I absolutely love it. And there's a very, very predominant flavor of dhania coming through, and I love dhania flavor in my gravies. But it is very oily. I'm going to be trying the Amritsari fish tikka next. Much like the dum aloo, the tanginess is heavy in this one. It just hits you wham on your face, and you can't taste anything else other than this. The fish tikka I will not recommend at all. Coming to my personal favorite, the butter chicken. I love this butter chicken. I love it. I have shown it enough through my expressions. I don't think I have words for it. It is so good. Chicken is really, really well cooked. And the gravy itself is just amazing. I love it. And finally, we are here at everybody's most awaited part of a buffet, the dessert counter. First and foremost, there is a huge array of desserts over here. As you can see, there is gulab jamun, gajar ka halwa. This is balushahi, and right over here you have shahi tukra, a mango roll, malai roll. Just look at the shine on that, it looks delicious. Ras malai, and there is an ice cream counter here. This ras malai is just chock full of the flavor of the saffron. It hits you when you look at it, when you smell it, and when you taste it. It is the most overpowering flavor. As in, it stands out the most, but it is so delicious. It is not too sweet, and I'm a person who doesn't love a lot of sweet in my desserts. So if you are someone who does, maybe this may not be your most favorite, but it is such an elegant, reserved dessert. It is amazing, and it just the bite of the ras malai just melts into your mouth, and like I said, the flavors of saffron, the sweetness, it all comes through so well, but in a very restrained manner. So I definitely love this one. I think I'll give it like a 10 on 10, or a little bit, no, actually better yet, 11 on 10. I'm going to try India's favorite dessert, the gulab jamun. I'm kidding, I'm not sure if it's India's favorite dessert or not. Not based on any statistical inference. The jamun is a little bit hard, which I have to say is not my favorite thing ever. I take that back, I love it. This is really good. It's a little sweet, too sweet for me. I think most people would like it. The jamun in itself is a little bit hard, which is the only negative I can think of. The sugar syrup is good, it's nice. It's got a thick sort of consistency, as you can see. It's not too watery like some gulab jamuns tend to be. Overall, it's good. I think it could use a little bit of an infusion of rose water and maybe a slightly softer jamun as it is, but on the whole, a good dessert. Maybe a 9 on 10. This is the gajar ka halwa. Not a fan. There is something about it. It's overpoweringly sweet, it's overpoweringly rich. Much like the tangy gravies from the main course section, it really takes over your palate and leaves you unable to think of anything else. So I am definitely not a fan of the gajar ka halwa. This is a malai roll that reminds me of cham cham, which is one of my favorite desserts ever. So I'm excited to try this. I really am. I'm no longer excited. It tastes like the malai inside a coconut, not the malai that you think of when someone says malai roll. And also a little bit like plain bread. The texture is off. I really don't like it. To be honest, I like it even less than I like the gajar ka halwa, which is saying something because I really did not like the gajar ka halwa. Moving on to the Shahi Tukda with the biggest hope that it is better than the last two desserts. Now, Shahi Tukda is somewhere between a roast bread mixed with rabdi. To give you an insight into what it might be. This is good. While it is not as overpoweringly amazing as the rasmalai or the gulab jamun was, it stands on its own as a pretty decent Shahi Tukda. It's good, I like it. It's really nice. Moving on to the balushahi, which I'm now going to eat from a spoon. This is delicious. A1 for the balushahi. Not overpowering, not too subtle, just the right flavor in the ratio between ghee and sugar is just right. I love how crisp it is, how light it is. It reminds me of a jalebi when I look at it, but it's not as juicy and it is really, really good. The last dessert, and I feel like I've eaten too many sweet things today, is the mango roll, which looks promising. It's like if a Kaju Katli and a mango had a baby, that would be this. I like it. It's a really good one. A little dry maybe. It is nice. The mango flavor is very, very out there and it is really yummy. So a definite plus. We did not try out the ice creams because the flavors are pretty standard. But to give you a final review of the desserts, gulab jamun, yes. Rasmalai, double yes. The Shahi Tukda, yes. The Kaju Katli mango roll, yes. Gajar ka halwa, The balushahi, yes. The malai roll, unless you love coconuts, no. And yeah, that's about it.